calf raise. We're going to start with the long axis of our foot, that is our second toe, perpendicular to the edge of the step. We're also going to make sure that our foot is lateral to our midline. It's very typical for when I stand on one leg to move myself over my stance limb. But in fact, we actually want to keep our midline here as our foot is off to the side. It's going to be critical for good distribution on the plantar pressure of our foot, specifically under the first and the second toe, pushing off the ball of the foot. The additional thing to shift this way is shifting forward. So we actually want to go immediately vertical and then slightly off to our opposite limb. So it would look like this. Setup would be putting my foot to the side. I use my arms for balance and support. I drop my heel as far as I can, keeping the foot engaged. It's not a flaccid foot. I'm stiff in my arch and using my foot intrinsics to keep the foot there. I then drive straight up as much as I can, and it's a full limb experience. Glute, quad, and calf all working simultaneously into a triple extension position. I then slowly descend over 5 seconds, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, drop down, I drive back up, hold, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, explode back up as quickly as I can, but without this nuance. So the foot is going to want to do this and roll out to the outside. I have got to remain diligent such that I push through the first and the second toe, keeping that neutral foot rather than rolling out. The second thing is that people will often curl their toes, and their toes will contribute up to 33% of that terminal end range of motion. So in my shoe, you can appreciate at least that my shoe is not digging into the step. It's actually quite neutral. My toes are actually flat and not jamming into the step. So it'd be like that. And if I was to use my toes, it would be like this. And you can see that obliquity in that crease. Additional variations. So we talked about the orthogonal, or that perpendicular orientation of the foot to the step. I can also deliberately hit other portions of my calf on subsequent training days by going 30 degrees out and 30 degrees in. I often would recommend fatiguing a single line of tissue each time you go to the gym. That being said, it's like, okay, day one I'm doing this, day two I'm turning it out 30 degrees. Third day of training, wherever that may be, I do 30 degrees in. So I'm hitting the medial, center, and lateral gastroc respectively. The whole thing is working as a single muscle or single entity. They're all getting some activation, but we're biasing different portions.